Hey everyone, welcome back to another gaming news video. Now in today's video, for those of you guys that might have loved Spider-Man by Insomniac games, you guys might even be more excited because they are currently working on a secret project. But before we actually dive into today's video, if you guys could go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below, it would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. A new LinkedIn listing out of Insomniac Games may hint at Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Over on their website, a very specific person, Jason Hickley, an art director at Insomniac Game, has revealed that he is currently working as an art director on an unannounced project. Naturally, Hickley doesn't necessarily disclose any of the details and information about this current project, but his past work hints that it could be another Spider-Man sequel because according to his LinkedIn profile, his latest project at Insomniac Games was in 2018's Spider-Man game that he had actually worked on back then, which he had worked as a lead environmental artist. Of course, the project could be a variety of other things as Insomniac Games is a multi-project and a multi-IP studio. However, the little context that we do have does considerably point to Marvel's Spider-Man 2 or whatever it actually ends up being called at that point in time. In 2021, Insomniac Games is best known for Spider-Man and also for Ratchet and Clank. The latter is getting a new release in June of 2021, and it's going to be Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, so it is unlikely that the unannounced project is another Ratchet and Clank game. However, it could be, but it just seems highly unlikely. Now, over the past 5 years, Insomniac Games has worked on 7 brand new IPs. That has actually been mostly experimental VR kinds of things and other projects that have ultimately never been released by the gaming studio. Further, this was actually put into motion before Studio actually ever even acquired the studio, so it could be a brand new IP because they are known to produce brand new IPs. But again, this does seem kind of unlikely given that the context of this information. Now let's just go back a little bit further. There are other games that have definitely defined Insomniac Games over the past few years, or past years in general, and these include games like Spyro, Sunset Overdrive, and Resistance. Now let's just kind of take a little bit of a look at those 3 specific games. The first one actually had belonged to Activision. The middle one, which is actually Sunset Overdrive, actually began its life as an Xbox IP, so it's highly unlikely that that could be resurrected. It is always possible, but considering that it was specifically an exclusive to Xbox, I don't think that they're going to bring it back for PlayStation. However, it's an undefined and unannounced project, so it could be for both the Xbox and also the PS5. And then also lastly, we have Resistance. It kind of is difficult to actually take a look at this one because it would be Sony and Insomniac Games bring Resistance back at this point because it seems like it's a little bit of a dark horse and it's actually been dormant for about a decade or so. But where does this actually end up leaving us completely about this unannounced game from Insomniac Games? Now, in my personal opinion, it definitely points to a Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and this is honestly what has a lot of fans about Spider-Man very excited because of the post that was actually put on LinkedIn and that was actually eventually put onto Twitter. I really can't wait to see what they actually develop because I love the original Spider-Man. I did play Spider-Man Miles Morales, but I don't think it was as good as the first one. It seems more like a DLC in my personal opinion, but the game wasn't bad. It just was very short and it needed more depth in my personal opinion. It is believed that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has been in development since January of 2019. If this is the case, or if that is the case, then the game is probably going to be set to be released in 2022 or possibly 2023, which means that we should actually get information about this game, the unannounced project, sooner rather than actually later. But you guys will have to let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this information that was kind of disclosed and released by Insomniac Games, and also from the art director at Insomniac Games, Jason Hickley. However, he didn't release any information, so hopefully he doesn't get into any trouble. But you can see if you look at his profile, unless it's actually been taken down, it says acting art director on an unannounced project at Insomniac Games. So there you go. Hopefully that does help you guys out. And if you guys enjoyed today's video and are as excited about a potential Spider-Man 2, then make sure that you guys go and like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.